Alright, so look, I don't know if you can see me or not. I'm gonna be honest. It's kind of dark in here, so I had to do it this way. I feel like every time I come in this garage, it's hard for me. But today, we're going over a lovely timeline. Alright? Lovely timeline. I'm gonna see if I can get some more light in here. Or maybe not. If maybe I'll take y'all to like the outdoors. I'll take y'all to the outdoors. But yeah, it's always hard to be in here, you know? Like, bro, do you see this? Like, I don't think you understand that, like, it didn't look like this at first. Like, that's all trash. This whole TV box is like trash because there's like nothing in there. But like, bro, these are boxes. Like, this is the bad part that we have to work on the next time we work. But like, this is empty-ish, like half empty, and it's just gonna get more and more empty in here. Tough. Ooh, a little shaky there, buddy. Alright, look, today is February 24th, and yeah, what we're doing pretty much, this is just a phone case, don't worry, you guys are like my only phone, I know. It's nice and warm, it's like 70, 80 degrees outside, and you know, I decided I wanted to like come up with this grand idea to like pretty much give a timeline, give a lovely timeline to everything, and just tell you the whole story. That way I can fill in some gaps that I didn't fill in last year during February, or was it March 1st? Yeah, I'm gonna fill in some gaps for you. And look, I didn't actually finish the Google Doc that I did to like put everything down in certain bullet points, but I did get a lot of like the early stages that I feel like I didn't cover like well enough. I feel like I told you about it, but I never like went into detail or like told you like the whole thing. So like the Google Doc that you can't see, but I gotta keep here, so if I look down, you know why. Also, I feel like you shouldn't be hyper focused on why I'm looking down. Like you don't know. What if like I'm getting like a something interesting, you know? And like I don't know, like you shouldn't be hyper focused if I'm looking down, but that's why I'm looking down. If you're curious. Ooh. All right, so like the first section I did was like ages 4 through 10, because like I think that's when I had like living consciousness. I don't know if that makes sense. Sorry if you hear the background noise stuff, like that's just the way it's gonna effing be. Ages 4 through 10. So okay, here's some stories. First story, I was just spouting stuff that I like remembered during this age period. So you know, like don't hold me accountable for age things. So basically, when I was like really young, all I know is that like that this was before like I was in like 3rd grade. So I had to go to like some church function, and my mom decided that, you know, there just wasn't a way for me to not go in a dress or something. But yeah, the whole time I was there, I was pretty much being forced to like keep my legs closed, which sounds weird, but you know, I was in a dress. After that, I swear I wanted to wear I never wanted to wear dressing, and it wasn't me. So yeah, I was like, because it was like church and like black church, dressy, always fancy. So I was like told to put on like a dress or whatever. So yeah, I wasn't down with that, and like it just wasn't me. Like I'm just a spread legs type of person. I don't know. I just sit with like a certain type of composition. You know what I mean? So like my bad. I didn't know. There's rules to these things. I didn't know. So like yeah. Can you really blame me? Can you blame me? Should I get closer? Is this better for you? Is this better for your perspective, I guess. So also there's another story where it's like, so if you don't know, you're about to know. I started a channel when I was like 9 years old. The YouTube channel was called Naruto Bro 122, and I would just pretty much post like gaming videos, and I talk in them, but like my voice was terrible, and like It was bad. It was bad. But the channel no longer exists anymore because like I had to do some age verification, and YouTube doesn't really allow like no, I think it's Google. You can't really own an account without like parental consent until like the age of 13, I believe. Yeah, I think I was, and then like that's it got removed when I was 12, but I started it when I was 9. But yeah, I had a channel before multiple different other channels. Uh, uh, okay. So yeah, Naruto Bro 122 gaming channel, all this, great. I was pretty much just posting gaming videos, like I said, etc., etc. And like my channel was founded around like a picture that I drew with like this guy with like blonde hair and blue eyes. And in my mind, I don't know how I was expecting to like keep up the persona that Naruto Bro 122, but like I was like I would think about like, oh, I'm gonna hire someone to like play the guy that like I'm supposed to be. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna hire somebody, and like I'm gonna pay them on the side every time I need to make a public appearance. I don't know. That was my like my little thing. Next, in elementary, I would always think or like I would always think of like weird cool guy names like that I liked, like the name Adam. I was obsessed with the name Adam. The worst part is that I'm not even effing joking, bro. Uh, but like I watched like this Ninjago thing. Yeah, I watched this Ninjago thing, and pretty much, the name. There's in Ninjago. There's like 4 different ninjas. There's Jay, Zane, Kai, and Cole, and then their master is Sensei Wu. Is kind of like some Ninja Turtle crap, but not completely because it's Legos. So yeah, I was pretty much obsessed with the name Kai because like we all like knew from the very beginning. It was like the reverse version. But so yeah, that was always interesting. Moving on, I also remembered a lot of other stuff. Oh, oh crap! Good God! Look, man, I don't know if you just saw that, but I kind of got a bird attack happen to me. I don't know. They were just playing around, and I was like in a bad position, I guess. So had to deal with that. Now we're inside the room that we all know and love. Uh, shall we continue? Shall we continue? I hate that. Does anyone else cringe when they hear that noise? I always do. Metal scratching against metal. Yeah, so yeah, there was like this character named Kai, and it was like the reverse letters of like part of my birth name. So yes, and I would always just like be kind of obsessed with it. I was just obsessed with the idea of like, what would my name be if I was like, to have it like, what would it be if I was to be Kai? That's what I was like in elementary. So I was like, okay, my first name would be Kai for sure. It's a reverse on my first name, Kai. Okay, middle name Danny. Okay, it's like bordering on the middle name, but not completely. And we'll keep Erwin because like, why the if would we change your last name? Why would I change my last name? Like, I don't know. So like, that was the whole idea. So yeah. All right, moving on. When I was like 9 or 10 or something, I broke my ankle, and I was always like this person that like took physical pain, and I would just tell myself, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, because it was like, you know, in the idea of society, guys don't cry. You know what I mean? So it was like I don't want to come off as weak or anything. I never wanted to have that idea that being like crying is like associated with weakness, but it's not. It's okay to cry, and crying does not make you weak in any way. It's just it's just a thing, and it's perfectly fine. And crying is actually just if you're vulnerable in front of other people, I think that makes you slightly more stronger than me, definitely, because I'm just not that person. You know what I mean? But yeah, uh, I would always like interact with like girls in my class, and like I would give them piggyback rides as well. You know what I mean? I would always like play sports with the guys in my class, and like I was friends with all the dudes and stuff like that. Yeah, so I give piggyback rides, and I play like soccer and tag or whatever else, which is also how I broke my ankle. And so yeah, that was cool. After that, I don't know. Like after that, I just stopped playing in general because like I had a broken ankle, bro. I became just like one other person in my class because she broke her leg after I broke my leg. So we were just sit inside the classroom while everyone else was playing. Very, I guess, would I call it a bonding experience? That's questionable. You know what I mean? That's questionable. That as unfortunate fact about puberty, your body like naturally changes and it grows and it like does all these crazy things. You know what I mean? So when I was younger, I was in my room. Okay, I was chilling. My parents came in here. They didn't even come in here really. My mom just came inside my bedroom, dropped off a Ross bag, and then just left. No explanation. And it was pretty much inside the bag there was like a bra, bro. And I was just like, what is this for? Like that was I just had question marks above my head, like what is this for? It didn't make it just doesn't correlate, you know what I mean? I was confused. I didn't know what it was for. So for like the longest time, I would just never wear it at all until like I started doing it, and then like I started wearing it like all the time, and I basically never took it off after that. Yeah, until about freshman year when I got a binder, then I just bind. But I still pretty much just like I never want to be aware of my body like that. So that's why I like always wore it. I don't like to be like so like aware that exists on me. So yeah, beautiful things. Yeah, that was it. So on the topic of puberty and the way the body changes and like grows, I actually had my first period or menstruation, I don't know, at a fairly young age. I'd say it was like 9. I was like 9 years old, and again I was confused, but mainly confused. Like I feel like every kid is like confused when this happens. I'm just like, what is this? What is happening? What is this? Am I gonna die? And so for my thought was not I'm gonna die. I thought, as strangely as this sounds, and I swear, bro, don't judge me, I was 9. I was a child. Alright? So when this happened, I was really confused, and I thought for a moment, I literally thought I was like some Virgin Mary crap, that I was pregnant. And I swear I was on my way walking down that street coming back home, and I was telling my brother about this. I was just like, I don't know how this happened, but I think I'm like Mary. Like, yeah, Jesus' mom. Like I think I'm like Mary. And so I came home and I went to the bathroom. I was like, ooh. So I was doing my voodoo, I guess, not literally, but you know, I was doing my thing. And so pretty much I put a bunch of like tissues inside the trash can, and then like I was confronted. Obviously, you'd be concerned if you saw like a bunch of bloody tissues in your trash can. So like, they asked me, what is this? And my response was, I'm not even joking, a bloody nose. So I had to hold on to some dignity, you know what I mean? Like, I had to have some dignity. There's just no way I'm just gonna give you the information for free. I'm like, I don't even know what's happening. Why would I tell you? Like, I think I'm gonna die. I don't know how this happened. I don't know what's happening. So like, why would I tell you? I'm going crazy, but like, I'm not really there yet, you know? So I have a nosebleed. And then later on, like, I figured it out. Later on, I watched like 2 YouTube videos with my mom and we figured it out. But yeah, that concludes this segment, kind of. Alright, so onto the topic of middle school, ages ages 11 through 13, I would say. Even though I was 13 in like freshman year, kind of until like I turned 14. But essentially, ages 11 through 13. Throughout those years of middle school, I was always like forced to have like braids in my hair as like, I guess, a thing that a lot of people do and did at the time. So like, yeah, I was forced to always wear earrings because like, and that actually ruined my whole perspective on earrings for just a large amount of time. And even now, like, I'm not like 100% down with wearing earrings as like even now, kind of. But I still wear it sometimes because sometimes I'm like, I should just spice it up a little bit, right? But yeah, it ruined my experience because my mom would always like associate earrings with like being a woman, being a girl, you know, and I hated that. I hated that so much. And yeah, I always remembered the fact that when I was like forced to wear earrings, I would always have like a mental breakdown. I didn't want to do it. I would just cry, and I'd always cry in the bathroom. And then when I was forced to get like she like forcefully braid my hair, like she'd forcefully braid my hair kind of, and like I would just go in the bathroom after and look at myself, and I just didn't feel like myself. I looked in the mirror and I genuinely saw a stranger I didn't know. I don't think I can stress that enough. I was looking at a person that I didn't even know. I felt like I was looking at a stranger, and I think you don't really understand completely how that feels until you're that person feeling like you're not looking at yourself in the mirror. Then you understand. But it was like I was completely disassociated with like the person I was looking at in the mirror that was looking back at me. So yeah, uh, give me a moment, I gotta collect my thoughts. But yeah, that pretty much like caused a lot of mental breakdowns. I would always like, I'd feel like I wanted to like rip my skin off, and I don't know, I felt like I was trapped. I just wanted to claw my way out. I just hated that. I dealt with the same thing in freshman year, and so far the difference was I wasn't forced to do that anymore. I remember the first time I was able to like go out and dress how I wanted to, have short hair and things like that because I wanted to be myself. Alright, it was freshman year, the first day of school, and like I went there, and I remember coming home and just telling my dad like it was amazing. I felt like people saw me for who I was. It was like amazing. I had a great time. And I remember just the joy I felt just being able to like present as myself. So yeah, collect my thoughts. But as the year went on in freshman year, I was like going through intense dysphoria. I had like a notebook. I no longer have it, or rather I lost it in this room somewhere, but it was like a notebook where I'd write a sentence that's kind of like figurative language for something else and draw a picture. And I just remember all the pictures just being like, it's just, I wish I could like describe it to you, but it was like, all the pictures were very much showing how bad dysphoria was for me. And I remember my teacher, my Chinese teacher, came up to me and she asked me like, what is this drawing? I was just like, it's just a picture, you know, just a drawing. And she was like, oh, it's cool, like what are all these eyes? And I'm like, it is what it is. But yeah, I was just like, music is always a really big safety net for me, and it was for all my years. So yeah. Alright, so when I was 12, I was trying to figure things out. I was confused. I had a crush on somebody that was basically essentially the same gender I identified as at the time. And like I was confused, so I naturally went to research and figure out what was happening. And I remember just praying to God every effing night, just saying, oh my goodness, I really wish this wasn't me. I don't know what's happening. I don't know. Just please take this away from me. I hate this. I don't want to be this person. And I would always just do that consistently every night. I just talk to myself in the middle of the night, just praying and hoping that like somehow, some way I would just change in an instant, because I didn't want to be that person. I'm gonna be honest. But now, you know, I'm in a much better mindset. I'm much healthier now. I can firmly say that I'm trying and I'm like growing, and I've come to love who I am in some ways, which is why this channel exists. But at the time, I only knew the labels that existed. For me, I felt like the only labels that existed at the beginning was bisexual, lesbian, gay, and transgender. And everything else was pretty much new. Like, I figured out all the rest of the terms when I was going into freshman year, but I had no idea pansexual people exist or anybody else. I only knew these 4 terms. So I would like write in a journal, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, and I just tally it up. I'm very analytical in that way, where I was just like analyzing myself a lot. But yeah, that's what I got. I analyzed it, and the idea of being trans was just so mind-blowing for me at that age. I decided I wanted to set it aside for when I felt like I could handle it until I could no longer ignore it, which was in freshman year when I could no longer ignore it. But I put it aside, and I just didn't want to think about the concept of gender, so I focused on like finding what I was attracted to, which is pretty much anybody who I think has a amazing personality, or yeah, pretty much, I guess. You know, I don't know. I like all people. That's the end of my notes. I got 2 minutes left of recording. I'm just gonna go over some things. 7th grade. Dysphoria around being dead named all the time. I would always get like, hearing my name started like making me like have tears. I started like wanting to cry when I'd hear my name. So then eventually I told the teachers the name I wanted to be called at the end of the year. I avoided telling some teachers where I felt like it wasn't a safe space. And now we're here. I'm completely going by the name I want to be called. And at school, not at home. At school, I have a binder. I feel comfortable in myself. I have this flag. I have this channel. I think that's all great and dandy. And for lasting advice, I just want to tell you that this video is not really to like tell you signs. It's just telling you my story, and if it helps you, it helps. If it doesn't, it doesn't. This is just my timeline of words, and hopefully I can do a timeline of pictures to show you some of my old photos and show you just what it was like to just go from not knowing to knowing. Peace and love, everyone. I love you all. I'm sorry I gotta do this old YouTuber crap, but like, I got in 16 seconds of peace and love, people. I love you so much, and I hope to see you in another video. Another great one. Bye.